Hello everybody, my name is Slightly Artsy, and today I'm going to be talking about how I made Expired. So, first of all, if you can't tell here, this is titled Experiment Roll. The reason for that is originally I just had these two bars, and I was just fooling around with the automation tracks, and it was just meant to be an experiment, but I thought that the melody sounded kind of cool, so I would save it for a later use. And then I did end up making it into a full song that was like 3 minutes 28 seconds-ish. Right, so first we have the main melody. You hear this a lot in the piece. Right, it's easy, simple to remember, and when you combine it with the automation track, it sounds weird. Which is what I was going for, right? And then you also have the trumpet, which is placed down low, so it sounds a little bit like a bass. This was before I discovered that, this is before I actually looked into the basses. And I just used the trumpet in the song All Business when I first made this little snippet, so I just decided, oh, I'll just use that. So then, I combined that with a kick drum. Making kick drums in Kicker is very easy. I suppose I could make a video on that, but that'll be later. Oh yeah, and I forgot to show you the expired oscillator. So here you can see it's just saws. Nothing except for some resonance, low pass filter, and the spectrum analyzer. It just shows you the frequencies. It doesn't actually do anything. Right. And then we have the Pengy flute, which I've talked about in a previous video, I believe. It's the lower line of the, or maybe not the lower line, but anyways, it makes there sort of sounds like there's something more. It layers on top of the trumpet after this measure. I wasn't sure if anybody was actually able to hear it or not. This is just a zap sound effect that you can find in here. Right? And then after this, I realized, wait, I can't just have the same melody play over and over again. So as you can see, at this point I was like, okay, I guess it sounds sort of like the Egyptian level in a video game or something like that. And then I just sort of rolled with it from there. This is a different version of the melody that you heard earlier. I believe it's different. No, it's not different, sorry. This is different though. Right. And then you'll notice that this is just this, but with this as the top note, I believe. No, the bottom note in the chord, the root note. Right, and then that just keeps going on. I guess I could show this. This is the zap. This is also the zap. They're just at different timing. Right, and then you get up to the beat drop that I made. then this part was actually KSP NASA's idea. This is the second song that I collaborated with him on. The first one is Blaze. You can see it on his SoundCloud if you want, right? But yeah, it was his idea to sort of have this melody play after. He also restructured the beat so that right, he added that part as well. Before I was going to have it end like but then he just sort of changed it and I rolled with it because it was good. And then here you can see that it changes from the expired oscillator to this thing that he made. Right, it sounds a little bit different. And then there's also the acid lead, except we lowered it down. And then it makes a pretty good bass. And as you can see, the rhythm is sort of off. We weren't sure if it was going to sound good or not, or at least I wasn't sure. And I just wanted it to not be the same as the trumpet, because I thought that would mask it. Thankfully it didn't. Oh yeah, you'll notice that this is sort of a fader. I mean, not a fader, a sweep. Oh yeah, and then you'll notice here that it transitions seamlessly from this beat, which is just the 4 kicks, into this beat, which is more than 4 kicks. Honestly, KSP, he's really great at making these kind of beats. Right, he did some great ones in Dubstep Christmas as well. Right, so anyways. And then we switch between beats like this, and also this. And then, well, you already saw that. Right, this one's missing the snare. Oh, that's the beat drop that I use later. And that I also use. So that's why you can sort of hear the kick drum sort of give way into this new thing. Right, and then here's the new melody. So, I'm not sure if you're able to tell, but actually, since I haven't released Blaze on my channel yet, you shouldn't be able to tell, but this is based off of the first song that we collaborated on, which is called Blaze, and it starts like this. And then it later gives way into the more messy. Right, so you can hear the resemblance there, I think. The rhythm pattern is the same at the very least, if not the notes that I use. And then you'll notice that this is also a beat drop. And then this is something I use whenever I want to make a song sound very hoppy, very energetic. I just use a combination of and that. It sort of makes a sound, but it actually doesn't. Well, it doesn't really, because since it has technically 0 length. It makes a good plucky effect, right? And then here I add in the trumpets again. And then here, I'm not sure if you noticed, but while this started on La, this started on oh, sorry, no, that's not the right one. So this one starts on T, right? The same trend follows over here. This is a melody that I really liked. I believe I first used it here. Right, and then that just basically repeats until it comes back to here, and then it starts slowing down from there, and then it's the end of the song. And then it's not a chord because everything is on the same note, but it sounds a little bit like one. The bass line, I forgot to mention that the bass line itself changes. Right, we fix the melody I fix the melody at the very end, etc. And then I even make it so that the there's a little bit of a change in the notes. And then I believe I changed that sometime. No, I don't. Huh. And so at that time, Expired was the longest song that I had made, being 3 minutes and 27 seconds, with my second longest being All Business, which was only 2 minutes and 47 seconds. So that was a bit of, it took a while to create, but at the same time it didn't really, because I was just mainly using the same melody. Alright, so that was a really long video, but it sort of made sense because it was a, well, I don't want to say a really long song, but it was longer than the other two that I showed off so far, right? So that's where I'm going to leave it off. If you watched the whole video, thanks for watching, right? And if you just skipped ahead to this part, well, I'm not sure how much you missed, if you did miss anything. So, if you want to hear more music and you want to hear me talking about music, or maybe you want to know how to make a kick drum and kicker, or how to make a bass with Watson, or to make a saw like this, then stick around on my channel. I'll probably be doing that kind of stuff in the future, at the very least. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.